What's good, people? I know it's been a while. Lent's been hitting me different, The devil came and attacked Jesus for 40 days, and man, he's been attacking us, I'm sure of it. But never mind all that. I'm in the book of Esther, and I came across just a beautiful representation and almost foreshadowing it. I feel like the Bible foreshadows a lot. Like, we see Jesus in David, you know what I mean? When we look at David and how he pleases the Lord through obedience, despite the fact he's a sinner, he always returns. So check this. Chapter 8, verse 9. At once the Lord's secretaries were summoned on the 23rd day of the third month, the month of Sivan. They wrote out all Mordecai's orders to the Jews, and to the satraps, governors and nobles of 127 provinces stretching from India to Kush. These orders were written in the script of each province and the language of each people, and also to the Jews in their own script and language. Mordecai wrote in the name of King Xerxes. See the dispatches with the king's signet ring, and sent them by mounted couriers, who rode fast horses especially bred for the king. So Mordecai was doing all of this in the name of the king. Like, he had that authority that the king granted him, because when Haman was hung on the pole and the plot was exposed, he passed that authority from Haman, who was abusing that authority, to Mordecai, who would actually take dominion rather than take advantage. The king's edict granted the Jews in every city the right to assemble and protect themselves, to destroy, kill and annihilate the armed men of any nationality or province who might attack them and their women and children, and to plunder the property of their enemies. See, it's Satan who comes to destroy, kill and annihilate, but those armed men are the Satan in this scenario, and we have the right to defend ourselves. But we got to keep in mind Exodus 14:14, be still and the Lord will fight for you. In the book of Samuel it says the battle is the Lord's. So it's not for us to fight, but here it's showing us that we do need to be vigilant so we can defend ourselves. The day appointed for the Jews to do this in all the provinces of King Xerxes was the 13th day of the 12th month, the month of Adar. A copy of the text of the edict was to be issued as law in every province and made known to the people of every nationality, so that the Jews would be ready on that day to avenge themselves on their enemies. The couriers, riding their horses, went out, spurred on by the king's command, and the edict that was issued in the citadel of Susa. So, just like the couriers went out, we were sent out. We were sent out to preach the gospel. Just like the edict was to be issued as law in every province and made known to the people of every nationality, so too are we called to tell everybody the gospel until it is spread, until there's nowhere else for it to go, you know what I mean? And our reward, when Mordecai left the king's presence, he was wearing royal garments of blue and white, a large crown of gold, and a purple robe of fine linen. And the city of Susa held a joyous celebration. For the Jews it was a time of happiness and joy, gladness and honour. In every province and in every city to which the edict of the king came, there was joy and gladness among the Jews, with feasting and celebrating. And many people of other nationalities became Jews because fear of the Jews had seized them. See how we're converting people, because in this instance it was fear that seized the people, but with Yahushua it's love. Going on to chapter 9. On the 13th day of the 12th month, the month of Adar, the edict commanded by the king was to be carried out. On this day the enemies of the Jews had hoped to overpower them, but now the tables were turned and the Jews got the upper hand over those who hated them. You know who hates us, don't you? That little adversary Satan. We don't like him. The Jews assembled in their cities in all the provinces of King Xerxes to attack those determined to destroy them. No one could stand against them, because the people of all the other nationalities were afraid of them. And all the nobles of the provinces, the satraps, the governors, and the king's administrators helped the Jews, because fear of Mordecai had seized them. Mordecai was prominent in the palace. His reputation spread throughout the provinces, and he became more and more powerful. So I think I'm going to leave it there. But as we see that the more that Mordecai did his father's will, the more powerful he became. So I think this word really shows us the power of obedience, and I feel like it's showing us that as we go out and we show the love of Christ, we're going to win souls, and it's really just a case of embodying that love. Shalom, shalom.